Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I just got back from watching Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and I just want to review it for you. So basically, you guys have seen the ads for this. I imagine you guys kind of know the premise of it. Basically, as you know, Simu Liu stars as Shang-Chi. He's this Chinese American. He lives in lives in San Francisco with his good friend Aquafina. Her character's name is the character's name is Katie, played by Aquafina, and they're living a normal life until one day these gang members show up, and they're members of the gang called the Ten Rings, which is sent by his father, because his father is this centuries-old warlord in China who basically has this item called the Ten Rings, and when he has it on, he's immortal, and so he's lived throughout the centuries, and he's one to hunt down his son because his son ran away when he was younger, and he basically wants to get this pendant from his son and bring his son back to China to do this mission for him, to basically carry out this task. And then they also have to go find his Cheng-Chi's sister, who's in a different part of China, and they meet up, and then basically they all get together, go to go back to China, into the father's hideout, his father's fortress, and they basically have to agree to do this thing for their father. So I want this to be a non-spoiler, so I don't want to give away, describe the plot too much. But anyways, so the things I liked about this movie, I was going to just get into it, the really things I loved about it. I really loved the action in this movie and the martial arts. The martial arts are just on another level. I mean, definitely like the first 2/3 of this movie, it's kind of like The Raid. I mean, you see there's amazing martial arts they're doing, and it's also mixed with magic as well. So obviously they could do these, Shang-Chi and some of his, and these other characters can do some of these amazing, things and some magical moves because of the martial arts they do, and because of the power of the Ten Rings. So, and they've harnessed like chi and stuff like that. So they could do these amazing stunts, and so that stuff I loved. The action through the first 2/3 of the movie I really loved. Also, I loved the character development. Like Simu Liu, so Shang-Chi and Katie were like a really good. You believe their friendship. You believe that they like kind of grew up together for the most part after he moved to America. You get the friendship. It's deep, and then I love the character development, like with the father. I love with the sister. You see like how she felt like she was abandoned by Shang-Chi when he was younger, when he escaped their father, and then she had to escape later. You get that, and I think all the actors did a really wonderful job with their roles, and so you're very much invested in these characters. They're great, and so the first 2/3, I love the action. I love the story beats of the first like 2/3 of this movie. It was great. I think where the movie really falls down is this third act. To me, it kind of reminds me of the critique that people had of the first Wonder Woman movie, where it's like the first 2 acts are great. You're so invested in the characters. It's great action, it's grounded, and all of a sudden there's a big CGI battle that just kind of takes you out of it. And to me, that's kind of what happened in the third act there. It wasn't bad. I mean, it was definitely impressive, some stuff, but it just came to a point where all these things are coming at you in the screen at one time, and it's so hard to focus on what's going on. It's just so many things popping. It seemed like the movie was throwing everything in the kitchen sink at you at one time, and it just kind of felt like the movie just changed genres in the middle of it goes from like martial arts with some magic to just full blown fantasy in the space of a couple minutes. And to me, it was just kind of just overwhelming. I kind of turned my brain off a little bit there. I'm just like, oh my god. I felt like I was watching, honestly, at points there, because at points the CGI did not quite hold up, and I felt like I was watching something on the Sci-Fi Channel. Not to disparage the movie, but it just didn't quite hold up there. And I thought they could have kind of done a little better job with the final act there, because you're so into this like martial arts epic, you're just like into it, like yeah, and you're so into like it feels so ground level action. All of a sudden, it just got so fantastical, so large. It's just kind of these things that most comic book movies do. Unfortunately, is that they have to do the big CGI battle at the end, and if it doesn't quite work, if you're not quite invested enough, it just kind of goes over your head, and it's just kind of I would say it's kind of like a CGI onslaught into your brain, and this is like, oh my god, this, it feels like it drags because it's just so much more than you can just process at one time. So that'd be my big critique of this movie, is just like that third act just quite did not work for me. Although I mean, I still like these characters, and I like, where it finally ended after the post-credit scenes. There's two, by the way. So I honestly, I do want to see a sequel because I very much I'm a big fan of the MCU films. I wouldn't say this is one of the top MCU films for me. I wouldn't even be in my top 5. I know so many people out there praise this movie. It's like, oh my god, one of the best comic movies ever, one of the best MCU movies ever. I can't agree with that. I think it was really good. Like I said, I loved 2/3 of this movie. That last third was just kind of a little too much. I think it just kind of went overboard with it, and I kind of lost my immersion in the movie a little bit. Although they kind of got me back after the big CGI battle. Like I said, I would love, they said that they're working on a sequel to this, so I would like to see a sequel, and I also would like to see how Shang-Chi works in with the rest of the MCU and with the Avengers. I would like to see where his story goes. So I'm still interested in it. So like I said, this movie worked mostly for me. Just that third act, they kind of did the Wonder Woman effect where they went a little too overboard with the CGI battle. So it kind of just became noise on the screen. And so that would be my biggest critique of it. And plus, there's some story beats that it quite didn't work for me. And funny, I was thinking about it too, is that their father is it's supposed to be 1,000 years old, yet he's only married one woman and only had 2 children in 1,000 years. I have to say that's quite a case of blue balls. I'm sorry. Like, that's one of the reasons I'm saying hey, the ancient Chinese emperors had dozens of concubines. I'm saying he only had 2 children in 1,000 years. I mean, come on. Sorry to say so. It's things like there's story beats like that, and other story beats as they go along that just don't quite add up. And plus, I think they could have explained the Ten Rings a little more and his immortality. I think they kind of rushed his backstory to get to Shang-Chi's story. Because they get to his backstory in the beginning, but they don't quite say how he got the rings or all the different things, the powers of the rings, and I think they kind of rushed his story to get to the present day. But they did do a good job with explaining Shang-Chi's backstory, like with all the flashbacks they did, explaining why he fled and why his sister fled and all that, and all about his family. So I thought that was really well done, about his mother and all that. I think that was all really well fleshed out in the first 2/3 of the movie. It's just like I said, that last third kind of lost me there. So that would be my biggest critique of me. So, like I say, it would not be a top 5 Marvel movie for me. Maybe top 10 or a little lower than that. So, but otherwise, I'm not to crumble it. It's still a really good movie. I do recommend the movie. Go check it out. If you love this movie, every part of it, good. I mean, that's fair. You're allowed to have your own opinion. I just, like I said, it just that last part just did not work for me at all. And so, but yeah, it's a good movie. Check it out. Let me know what you think. If you love the movie, or if you have a different opinion, please comment below and let me know what you thought. So once again, everybody, that's my review of Shang-Chi. And once again, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will talk to you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.